So I'll start off with inviting Russell Wheatland, who is our B1 Australian convener.
Thanks, Angela. Rightly so, it should start with B1, the most important panel. I'm Russell Wheatland. I'm the convener of the AU B1 panel, responsible for insulated cables. Seagray, the study committee and the AU panel. I'm going to present to you today what we've been up to. This will actually be my last report to this ATC, as my term of convenership finishes this year. Next year's report will be delivered by the convener-elect, Rob Bradley. So good on you, Rob. This year my presentation will be slightly different to what I've done in the past. I've basically taken the presentation from our study committee chair, and that's what we'll work through this morning, but it's quite long, I find. So I'm going to keep the pace going because I frightened the bells. So it might be a bit rushed, but it's all available to you online anyway. Okay, so our current chair is Geir Claassen from Norway. Study committee at a glance, and you've seen these figures before from the other study committees. There's 24 regular members, but as we heard from Alex, it's going up to 30 because it's more and more that Seagray needs more representation from around the world. 24 regular members, as I say, coming up, 15 observer members and 6 additional members, plus the conveners of the advisory groups, the working groups and the task forces. So when B1 gets together, there's probably about 80 or 90 of us from around the world. We are, I think, the only study committee that actually holds a study committee meeting over 2 days. Every other study committee has a one-day meeting, we have 2. There's just so much going on in the cable space, as there should be. Technical work performed through the working bodies. There's 4 advisory groups, there's 18 working groups, there's 2 new task forces and 9 joint working groups. There's 450 experts from around the world that are linked in with the study committee. So here's the 4 advisory groups that report up to the chair. To liaise and collect information from stakeholders is what the customer advisory group is about. Then there's the tutorial advisory group to grab that information and present it out to the world. We have a brand new reliability advisory group collecting statistics about reliability of cable systems, and I've been asked to be the convener of that advisory group. And to steer the actions, we have the strategic advisory group, of which I've been asked to become a member, which is quite exciting stuff. The study committee focus on power systems of the future and the best use of existing systems. You can see that working groups on submarine and HVDC cables has increased. As we'd expect, here in Australia we're not much into DC cable systems yet, but it's coming, and it's coming at a pace that we need to be ready for. Additional focus over the past few years has been on calculations of cable ratings to utilise efficiently our cable systems. We've had many working groups just on this topic, and recently it's been B156 and 72. Using the formula found in the existing IEC standards, B156 had 16 members that were given one problem and they came up with 16 different answers. After 3 years of intense scrutiny and the development of new rules and equations, all 16 were able to come up individually with the same answer. And I can tell you this morning that the working group convener is presenting here in Australia today, this morning, to regulatory bodies about exactly this subject. B172 was formed to take in different setups, different cable systems, and make sure that the equations work for that. The findings of these 2 working groups and the others mentioned here on this slide will form the foundation for new IEC standards. Current working groups are well established around the 4 phases of the cable life cycle. Future foreseen evolution and drivers for the study committee: sustainability, reduction of losses, system efficiency, growing attention to safety, health, environment and quality, innovative cable solutions in the changing operational environment. My goodness, have we seen some innovation cable designs? A wide range of calculation tools allowing for unconventional use of cable systems. As with tree, stuff that we thought was put to bed 50 years ago, frequency control, is now back on the table. Cables, we know how to put cables in the ground. You dig a trench and you put them in. Well, maybe not. And there's all sorts of stuff that people are pushing the boundaries, and Seagrey is right on top of all of that. Our commitment to quality and efficiency. One of the key deliverables of a working group is to present a technical brochure. These documents are being referenced by the world. The quality is always being improved. Seagrey doesn't promote one product over another. It's technology based. Task forces are used to determine if a topic is worthy of a 3-year working group. Working groups are approved by the study committee. Outputs are the technical brochure and a tutorial. Recent publications are listed here on this slide. A wide range of topics are being covered by the study committee. This is a set of the working groups ready to publish their technical brochures. As a member of the Strategic Advisory Group, I have recently reviewed the technical brochure for B158 on the asset management of MV cable systems. This is a very well-researched technical brochure. Tutorials and webinars. As I said, this is pushing the information out into the industry. Here's a list of the tutorials recently delivered, most through online webinars, which gained a wide audience, especially during COVID. But there's nothing like face-to-face. 2022 saw the return of these face-to-face tutorials, allowing a more interactive environment. The most recent was at the Cairns Symposium on locating cable or faults in cable systems. The study committee has launched its own website. These are the active working groups currently active with the study committee. Here's the work planned for 2023. A list of the new task forces and working groups approved by the study committee. You can see the numbers here. We're up to 93. I think it's the highest number in all the working groups in all the study committees. B1 has been around for coming up to 100 years. In 2027, B1 turns 100, and Seagrey has just turned 100. So we've been there pretty well right from the start, which is exciting. The study committee needs your input. If you've got questions, this has been raised before, but if there's stuff going on that you want the study committee to look at, then the customer advisory group is the place in. News from the central office. It's good to see them moving with the times, bringing in new technology. 2023 events, a big symposium in Cairns. It was great. The study committee again had a 2-day meeting. Every 4 years there's a dedicated cable conference held in France. This year G-Cable 23 was in Lyon, and because we'd outgrown the facilities in Versailles, it is seen as the workshop for the study committee, gathering cable experts from around the world. Oh, there's the word. Okay. So 2024, 2025, it looks like we might be going to Norway. We were invited to go to Israel, but maybe that won't be happening. Australian panel. The Australian panel currently has 42 members, which is, I think, the largest in Australia. We had 3 new representatives join over the last 12 months. We now have representatives from every utility around Australia, except for the Australian Capital Territory. we'll get to those recalcitrants sometime. Historically, Australia and New Zealand have been linked. There's only one TS transmission company in New Zealand, and to talk the same language, they've joined in with Australia, and they always have been. In fact, our previous convener was from New Zealand. One of the strengths of the Australian panel is that some of our previous conveners are still on the panel. And we have Ken, we have Colin, that are here today as part of the strength of that panel. And I could have done all that, couldn't I? So we're right into cables, whether that be EHV, HV, MV, and now end-to-end, we're down into the LV as well. And I'm out with a whole lot more stuff that I could have said, but I won't.
1 minute grace.
1 minute grace. Oh. The second last point here, 500 kV cable is coming to Australia. Now, whoever thought that would be the case? Whoever thought that we'd have offshore wind farms in Australia, but we're going to. And here we have 500 kV cable. I think this is exciting because this is my home base. But we keep pushing the boundaries, large conductors, higher voltages. It's quite exciting stuff. And I think, these are all the these are the Australian panel members on the current working groups. Out of 22 members, we've got 22 study committee, get it right, Russell, 22 working groups, we have 18 Australian representatives. Now that is exciting. And we get reports from that every year about what's happening in those working groups. So come and join the Australian AU B1 panel.